everybody, and welcome to the United Stand. We are live from Bucharest. Get your comments in as Tel, a huge transfer boost for Manchester United. Could he be on his way into Manchester United as a last-minute signing? Is he the right type of player? Will we beat Arsenal to the signing? Because Chelsea, they've been pushed to the side. Tel wants game time. Manchester United firmly in the race for Tel before deadline day. Also, another bid from Saudi for Marcus Rashford. With the options slimming down for Marcus Rashford, is there any chance that he might consider the Saudi move, or is that just dead in the water and not even worth talking about? I mean, it'd be huge for Manchester United in terms of the money that we could get in for him. Get your comments down about that. Also, Dorgu medical today at Manchester United. I know spoke a little bit about that on the morning show. I just have to say, I know it's a coincidence, and I genuinely do believe it is a coincidence, but how mad is it? Luke Shaw, never ever fit, never in training for Manchester United, and all of a sudden, he's back training as soon as Dorgu is flying in to Manchester. It's mad. Also, excuse my hair, because it is so windy up here, it's flying everywhere. I wish I could turn the camera around and show you what our producer Ryan's doing right now so we can stream live to you from Bucharest. I also wish you could see what I'm standing on right now so you can have this lovely backdrop behind us. I just want to give a huge shout out to the Holiday Inn in Bucharest for allowing us to use their rooftop for this live stream. It has been a fantastic stay so far, and I would highly recommend if you are in the city of Bucharest in Romania. So far, so good. We got in last night, but I'm loving the city. I'm loving the vibe. Everyone's hyped up for the football. FCSB, the game on Thursday night. Huge game in the Europa League for Manchester United. Get your comments down about that as well. But let's start off. I'll quickly bring up the Marcus Rashford stuff and then we'll move on to Tel, because I think Tel is the most exciting player that we've been linked to for quite a long time, to be honest with you. Would you want to do it? Is that the right type of player for Manchester United to go for? Dorgu, I'm already surprised that's got over the line, to be honest with you. If we manage to get another player in, another young player as well, could things be looking up for Manchester United this January? So let me get in the Marcus Rashford news. Let me bring it up here for you. So it's coming in from Ben Jacobs. We've had Ben Jacobs on the show multiple times before, a fantastic journalist, but especially a fantastic journalist when it comes to Saudi links. He's got very good connections over there, also very good connections in Qatar as well. And he has said Al Ahly have made a new approach for Marcus Rashford. The Saudi club are looking to take advantage of Barcelona struggling to do this deal. Rashford is still waiting for Barcelona and has already rejected Saudi, and his position to date isn't changing. So far on this Marcus Rashford to Saudi story, it's exactly what you think. Marcus Rashford is 27 years old. He does not want to go to Saudi Arabia yet. He wants to get in the squad for the England World Cup in 2026. Saudi limits his chances of doing that massively. It basically completely cuts ties with any chance of going to the World Cup, in my opinion, with England. I doubt Thomas Tuchel would be taking a player that's playing in Saudi Arabia. But Saudi are pushing. They've got a huge amount of money to offer Marcus Rashford. At this moment in time, I think he is prioritising football. But at the start of the transfer window, we hear about 10 clubs are interested in Marcus Rashford. You know, 1 minute his team are in Italy, 1 minute they're in France, next minute they're in Spain, Barcelona, Monaco, Como got through in there, Milan, Dortmund flew to Germany as well. They've been having a tour around Europe. They've been travelling around Europe more than we have to cover these Europa League games, but nothing seems to have come. What my impression is, and this is exactly what I think will happen on the Marcus Rashford deal, and I don't think it'll be the best financially for Manchester United, but if he plays well, it could open a lot of doors for us in the summer. I think what's happening is that clubs have come to the table with a loan move for Marcus Rashford, where Manchester United will cover some of the wages, but the majority of the wages are probably going to be covered by either a Dortmund or Milan. I do think clubs have come to the table with offers for Marcus Rashford. I do believe that. But I think Marcus Rashford has had conversations with Barcelona, and I think there's some sort of agreement there. Manchester United are desperate for Marcus Rashford to go. Ruben Amorim has made his stance extremely clear in the media, in his press conferences. If anything, he's done damage to the value of Marcus Rashford. As much as us, the fans, appreciate the honesty, love the honesty from Ruben Amorim, he's done damage. What player is really going to have huge offers coming in for them when the manager's saying they're not training 100% and they've not got the right behaviours, it does knock down the value, especially when it comes to negotiations. But I think Marcus Rashford's team, Barcelona, they don't have any money, but they do want the player. They have been interested in Marcus Rashford since November 2023. Ben Jacobs revealed that to us on a show. So there is links for Barcelona and Marcus Rashford, and I think he's seen there's a chance that I could be playing at the new camp. There's a chance that I could be playing for Barcelona. The team is obviously, you know, doing well in La Liga. It's in Europe still. Like, that is an opportunity for Marcus Rashford to go and play on a big stage in La Liga. And I think he's thought, I want that deal. You know, I want to be playing in a Barcelona shirt. It's probably the most attractive club that's come and put an offer into Marcus Rashford. But Barcelona don't have the money. They're obviously not offering the financial package that Manchester United would want. The closer it gets to deadline day, the more desperate Manchester United get, because the last thing they want is Marcus Rashford being pictured training with the squad every week but not being included in matchday squads. Ruben Amorim continually being asked about Marcus Rashford in every press conference, and him not playing football, because if he doesn't play football until the end of the season, which is a very real possibility if he stays in Ruben Amorim's squad, like, Ruben Amorim could just completely exile him. He's not playing football. His value's decreasing. In the summer, the options are even bleaker. So I think what's going to happen, I think Barcelona are going to put together an offer for Manchester United on deadline day. Manchester United are going to be so desperate for Marcus Rashford to go, we're probably going to accept a very cut price deal where we're going to have to be paying the majority of the wages, and I doubt we're going to get much of a loan fee in. However, if Marcus Rashford then goes on and plays for Barcelona and does a good job over in Barcelona, if he gets the game time, there's a lot of competition in that team, by the way, that will rise his value, because Barcelona are obviously a club that has, you know, a big reputation. It's got a lot of eyes on them, and he will get noticed if he's playing well for Barcelona week in, week out. So it's a big risk for Manchester United. It's probably something we're going to have to do. But if I had to put my money somewhere, these Saudi links, they're not going to go anywhere. They can want Marcus Rashford as much as they want. They're trying to get younger players in the league. He's holding on to that World Cup dream. And if I was Marcus Rashford, and if I was 27, as much as I do want him to go, I wouldn't be going to Saudi either. I'd rather play for Barcelona. And he's going to think about himself in this situation. It's going to end up Barcelona deadline day deal. That's my prediction. Get in the comments what you guys think. And do you know what? I'm not too fussed about it. Financially, wouldn't be the best for us, but he's got an opportunity to go and do well on a really big stage there, and it could boost us in terms of a fee coming in the summer. Let's get some of your comments in though, because it's hard to multitask with my notes as well as getting your comments in, because I want to see what you guys are saying. Wow, we've got nearly 6,500 of you watching us live here from Bucharest, so thank you very much for that. Do you like the background? Are you happy with what we've managed to put together? I'm going to put a behind the scenes video on Instagram after this, because you'll all be laughing your heads off if you've seen what I'm stood on right now. People are saying it's a green screen. Come on. We've not gone through all this effort for you to say it's a green screen. We have Rohan in with a super chat saying, Beth, Manchester looks different. I can give you a big clue how you know we're not all kidding you and we're not on a rooftop building in Manchester. I'll give you one clue. Can you guess? The sun. The fact that I'm actually outside without a long sleeve top on is probably a big indication. I packed for the winter for Bucharest. It's 16 degrees. It's been like minuses in Manchester for the last few months. The ground's been frozen over. There's just been constant rain, constant hail and dark clouds. The sun's out and I'm in a short sleeve top. That's the biggest indication that I'm nowhere near Manchester right now. Everyone's saying it's sunny in Manchester as soon as I leave. Some people think that Rashford would sit on the whole bench for the season if he joined Barcelona. Look, the one thing about Rashford going to Barcelona is him and his team have always believed in him and his hype. I actually think he's probably been told he's bigger than what he is behind the scenes. Ricky texts me all the time saying, you know, he thinks Marcus Rashford, you know, couldn't even play in like League One. Like, he really doesn't rate him. I am a believer that he's a very talented player. It's just whether his head's going to be in the game and whether he's going to be able to work hard. If you go to Barcelona, you've got something to prove. You want to prove Amorim wrong. You want to prove everybody wrong that's been slating you in the media, saying you're not trying hard enough in training, you're not doing the right things, and you've got a big opportunity. So maybe that is motivation for Marcus Rashford. I mean, what is bigger motivation? Proving people wrong that you are a top player, so maybe you can reach them heights. But that's come back to this video on deadline day. Barcelona are going to come in and we're going to end up accepting a really rubbish deal where we're paying a lot of his wages. I think that's going to happen. But let's move on for something that could be a good deal for Manchester United. Now, I don't know if the producer can actually get a poll running right now because his hands seem quite full. But if we can get a poll running, or Matt's watching, we can get a poll running. Would you want Tel at Manchester United? We are hearing, and this is coming from Miguel Delaney, a good journalist, that if anyone does go for Tel this transfer window, and he has decided he's going to leave Bayern Munich, so he is going to move, he is going to go to a different club, and that transfer will happen. What club it'll be is yet to be seen, but there's multiple Premier League clubs in the race. If he does leave, Bayern Munich are holding firm at this moment in time. It has to be a loan, but it has to be a loan obligation to buy. There could be a permanent transfer in there, but basically they're not just going to allow him to go out on loan and then come back. If it is a loan, it has to be a loan obligation to buy. So any club that does go for him, you are going to have to be paying. You are going to have to pay at the end of that loan. I've got a WhatsApp in, so we've just got it in here. Sorry, just had something coming through, so we can get it into the show for us. Where's it coming up? Why is my Wi-Fi? I've just been told to look at WhatsApp and bring this into the show. Okay. Absolutely fits to what I'm about to say on Tel. Get your opinions in. But it's coming in from, let me just get his name right, Paul O'Keefe. That Mathys... Sorry, let me read that out again. I can barely read, the sun's in my eyes. It's coming in from Paul O'Keefe that Tel wants to join Manchester United. And I'm being told by Sam C Reports, the king of the United standing when it comes to the journalism side of things, that is a very good source as well. So I was just about to get into where is Tel going to go, where is his preference, and I was going to say I think Manchester United actually have a bigger chance in this race than what people are giving us a. Their estimations are that he's going to go to Arsenal. I think Manchester United have quite a big chance of getting Tel over the line. We've been going for a lot of young talent recently. Yes, we are building, but we have got game time to offer if a player is good enough coming into the club. So it's coming from Paul O'Keefe that Tel wants to join Manchester United. Again, another huge transfer boost, because I was having a discussion about this before I went live, and Miguel Delaney put in his article that Arsenal are all over this deal, and what was put out there is that Arsenal are interested in Tel. He'd be on the radar for a while as he fits all the criteria, and there was a surprise that such a player was available. Any loan deal would need an option to buy, and everyone's automatically assuming that Arsenal are going to do this. They're in need of a forward player, they're in need of an attacker, they're in need of a goal scorer. Now, if you don't know much about Tel, which I'm assuming a lot of people do, he's 19 years old, he's 6 foot, he can play across all three positions in the front line. He could play as a striker, he can play as a winger. Could he play as a 10 in Ruben Amorim's system? I'll get into that in a second. But what came out earlier today, and this was coming from Bild, and this is a good German source as well, that Manchester United, Tottenham and Arsenal are all interested in signing Tel. He has made it clear that he doesn't want to join Chelsea because of the competition. He wants to play. Because Chelsea have 1,000,001 wingers. I don't know why they're looking for more wingers. They've been all over Garnacho, now they're looking at Tel as well. Tel has ruled Chelsea out because he wants game time. So this is the whole reason why he's leaving Bayern Munich. He wants game time, he wants to go and play football. Now, Arsenal clearly seem like the front runners because they need a goal scorer. But I would say Arsenal need like a gunman. They need an out-and-out, lethal, proven striker. I also think Manchester United need that as well. But if you look at Tel's position and where he can play for Manchester United, he could play up front. But he could also play in the 10 position just behind the striker. And I think that would probably be the position he'd be most suited to in a Ruben Amorim system. As much as Manchester United do need a lethal striker, I think that's where Tel would be eyeing up to play under Ruben Amorim. He's got the pace, he's got the dribbling ability, he's got that strength, he's got that power, he's good at the ball at his feet, he's good at carrying the ball. However, you already have Garnacho that kind of fits that mould. I do think Tel is more suited to it though, based on his technical ability. So I think Tel coming to Manchester United, I can understand why he wants to come. It has been a graveyard for careers, but we are building our youth out. We are putting together a pathway for young players to join the football club and build out their careers. We've done it with Lenny Yoro. We've signed a lot of young players from the Premier League as well. We signed, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but we signed a player from Crystal Palace that's got a lot of promise. We've just got the Arsenal player over the line. Is it Aidan Heaven, the centre-back, and also Chido Obi Martin? We are building young players out through the club, and you've got to remember, Tel was born in 2005. He's 19 years old. And Arsenal obviously are at a more competitive stage than Manchester United right now, but Tel's got a lot of time. And is he going to get more game time at Arsenal, or is he going to get more game time at Manchester United? I've had debates, I'll say debates and not arguments, with a lot of people about this, because I hear people turning the nose up at João Felix, I hear people turning the nose up at Nkunku, and I think that's mainly because a lot of people think that means Garnacho has to go in order to get them players in. But if I'm ruling Garnacho off the table here, and I'm just talking about getting attacking players into Manchester United, I've seen a lot of Man United fans turn their nose up at a lot of players, and I say to them, look at what we've got at this current moment in time. Look at what we've got. If you mark Ahmad out of the game, we are struggling. We are struggling to score goals. We don't have great attacking depth. We don't have great attacking quality. If you're Tel, you're looking at Manchester United, and no disrespect, you're looking at them options and you're thinking, I can play in this team. I can play in that forward line. And there's multiple different positions he can play. However, my stance on this from a Manchester United point of view is, on one hand, I really like it. He's 19 years old, he's 6'4", he's got pace, he's got power, he's got agility, he's got technical ability on the ball, he's a good carrier of the ball, you know, he's good at dribbling through the midfield into the attack. I think he will create chances for Manchester United. He's a really promising player. But I also look at it and I think we've gone down the inexperienced potential route so many times. You know, I know the different profiles, but you have Xerxes in, who's 23. You have Rasmus Højlund in, who's 21, nearly 22 at the start of this month. You know, we keep going for, we've just signed Dorgu for, I know it's a completely different position, who's 20 years old at left wing back. We keep signing young players with potential, but when are we going to go and get the real deal that's ready now? When are you going to go and get that player that's ready to come in, and he's a certified goal scorer, and he's going to score you goals for Manchester United, and he's going to turn up and do it on the big stage now? Will Tel do that? Should Manchester United do that? And I actually do think if Tel was to come in, it means that probably Garnacho would go out. Is it a bit of a sideways move? I think Tel's probably more suited to the 10 role than Alejandro Garnacho is. I think he could play there. But is it too much of a sideways move? Is it really worth doing it? However, if Marcus Rashford goes and the option's there to bring Tel in and keep Garnacho, I would be all over that, because it gives us an attacking option. The only thing is, it's the obligation to buy. If he doesn't hit the ground running, you have got that obligation to buy at the end of the loan spell, where you have to do it no matter how he's done at Manchester United. So you've got to be sure if you do go for this player. But there's a lot of teams in the race. Chelsea were after him, they were pushing, they've been ruled out because of the amount of options. Arsenal are definitely on his radar. Manchester United are in the race as well. Tottenham, I've kind of not even mentioned Tottenham because no disrespect, why would you want to go there? Like, honestly, no disrespect to Spurs fans, they're doing worse than Manchester United. How's that possible? You know, Spurs, I don't think will get Tel, and I'd look really silly now if he does end up going there after saying that on this live stream, but I don't think they're much competition. I think the main competition for Manchester United is Arsenal, and I look at both and I think you're going to get more opportunity at Manchester United. I think there's actually, you know, more opportunity to go further at Manchester United, because I still think Arsenal go and get that certified striker in the summer, and you've got their number 10 roles if you're under Ruben Amorim, and you've got time to develop in that team with other younger players. Mikel Arteta, they're at a point where it's like, you've got to be extremely, extremely good as a young player to be getting into that team. Mikel Arteta doesn't like to take too many risks, so it'll be interesting to see how it goes. Also, in terms of his wages, by the way, he's currently on 80,000 a week at Bayern Munich, so if you did sign him, you won't be destroying the wage structure, you won't be giving a young player massive money. You would assume probably ends up on around 100k a week, which is absolutely fine when you look at Manchester United's wage structure and what other players on are similar to his abilities currently at Manchester United. But I want to get your comments in and see what you have to say on the Tel situation. Would you have him over Alejandro Garnacho as well? Let me know that in the comment too. Why is everyone first thing, I'm going to the comments to get real football opinion, to ask you guys, you know, tell yes or no, give me your input, give me your feedback. And all I can see is, it's a green screen, it's a green screen, it's a green screen. No, it's not. No, it's not a green screen. I don't know what else you want me to do. Exactly. And you know what? If you could see what I was stood on right now, you would understand the situation that I am in. I'm stood on a gym bench trying to bring this news to you. I'm trying to get some feedback on Tel. 19-year-old, really exciting talent, and all I see in the chat is green screen, green screen, green screen. So let me know. Someone's saying, Beth, don't jump. God, I could have fallen then. That would have been really bad. Simon Heron says, not over Garnacho, no chance. We've got, oh God, trying to read through the comments now. It's really tough to do. Let me see if I can just filter these away. Here we go. Okay, here we go. So we have Rohan saying, oh, I've done that one. Joe Fearon says, Rashford will just put a belter season in wherever he goes to get a big contract, then stop trying like he did at United a couple of seasons ago. Don't necessarily disagree based off history. I mean, I couldn't argue with you. Rob Always United says that class show Beth, class view, class Beth. You know what? At least someone appreciates the efforts that we go to. People saying they would take him over Rashford, but they would not take him over Alejandro Garnacho. If there's any way that Manchester United can, well, we already know Dorgu's coming in, he's doing his medical today. If we can get Dorgu in, get Rashford out and bring Tel in, that'd be fantastic. There's no doubt in Tel's talent. It's just, we keep going for talent. We are becoming potential FC, and that is my only worry about this sort of deal. But let me know in the comments. I'll go and look through them later what you think about Tel. In terms of, last but not least, I know a lot of people saying we need like a really experienced striker and we need that player that's going to be able to score goals. He is a tidy finisher, but you know, he's not. His best position is probably, you know, he's very, very versatile. He plays a winger. He could play in that 10 role. His best position at Manchester United, I think, would be in the 10 role. And I just wrote down a couple things as well. God, why can't I find them on here? Yeah, I wrote down, if it was getting Tel in, you've got to do a loan obligation to buy, and that means that's your striker. You know, that's your striker option done, and you're not going for a striker in the summer, it would be an absolute no. But if he's coming in to be a number 10, then I would definitely consider it, because it's an area we need to improve on. And I know people love Alejandro Garnacho, but I ask this question on every single show. Is Alejandro Garnacho going to be the starting left-sided 10 for Manchester United this time next year under Ruben Amorim? And if you can tell me he is, fair enough. But I don't think he does enough in that 10 position. And I don't know if he's going to get up to speed in that amount of time. We're lacking goals, and that front three is consistently disjointed. They are positions that Ruben Amorim wants to improve on. Right-sided 10, Amad might go to right wing-back, or he might stay right-sided 10. Left-sided 10 is absolutely huge. I prefer Bruno deeper. I think Ruben Amorim's really crying out for a left-sided 10. I don't think he envisions Alejandro Garnacho to be that. He can definitely be a squad player coming in off the bench, but I don't think he can be that starter. And striker, we're in desperate need of. Could Tel be the first stepping stone into solving our issues in that front line and giving us a little bit more depth there? Let me know in the comments. But last but not least for the show, just a little bit on Patrick Dorgu and what we can expect from him and when he's going to sign for Manchester United. Is there potential to be an announcement today? I would say probably not, unless it's a late evening one. I would say we're looking at maybe tomorrow or even Friday for an announcement for Patrick Dorgu, but this deal is going to happen in the world of modern day transfers. As soon as you get the here we go, you basically know that this deal is done. But there's a little bit more information on it that I want to bring, and this is from Laurie Whitwell as well, so this will be very well briefed. He said that Manchester United have reached a broad agreement with Lecce for the transfer of Patrick Dorgu for the €30 million, which is £25.2 million, plus €5 million, which is £4.2 million in add-ons. Negotiations have brought the figure to below Manchester United's aim of a total £30 million package, with add-ons a split of both simple bonuses and others that are more difficult to achieve. The deal is not fully finalised yet, with finer details still to be decided, but there is now a clear sense on both sides that Dorgu will become a Manchester United player. And I really wanted to address this on a show, because obviously I didn't get a chance to. We were travelling, we landed in Romania yesterday to the Here We Go to Dorgu, and I was buzzing about it. But the day before that, I did do a show where I said that we are overpaying for Dorgu, and as much as I like the player, we need to stop paying massive money on our second and third choices. We did it with Højlund, we've done it with other players. We don't go for our first choice, and then we go for our second or third choice, and we still end up paying massive money anyway. And it's like, well, you should have just gone for the first choice for a bit extra in the end. Because I was saying, Eight Nori, contract's up in 2026. You could probably get him for around 45 million. Like, if we're going to pay 35 for Dorgu, we might as well do that. That's what I was saying. But that is when I was under the impression, when it was being reported, that Manchester United were going to pay around £35 million for Dorgu, which I said was too expensive. I originally, a couple of weeks ago, when I did my research and analysis on this player, check it out on the United Stand, Patrick Dorgu's scout report, go and have a look at it. I say at the start of that video, Manchester United, I would be happy with this deal if they get him for between 20 and £25 million, and they have done that. They've got him for £25.2 million. Yes, there's some add-ons in there and it'll take it up a little bit, but there is some difficult add-ons as well. I have to say, and I will hold my hands up when I'm wrong about things, I thought we were going to end up paying like 35 million, which I know it's only 10 million, but everything adds up when you're going into future negotiations with other clubs, and they're looking at the fees you're paying, and they're looking what they can rinse out of you. We negotiated hard on this deal, and we got a better deal than I expected, and I say to that, fair play to Ineos. As much as they frustrated me in other areas, which I won't go into on the show, that is a good deal. This player, has the attributes that Ruben Amorim wants. He wasn't the first choice, but £25 million is a good price for this player, the potential that he's got and what he's going to give to Manchester United. And what is his value to Manchester United as well? We are crying out for a left-footed left wing-back. After the Ipswich game, it was reported that Ruben Amorim went to Sir Jim Ratcliffe and said, I need a left wing-back, I need a left-back. Unfortunately, it took us way too late in the transfer window to act on it. I think it was that Brighton result that really kind of struck Manchester United into action on getting this deal done. And I think Ruben Amorim was really firm with the board. Look, I need something. Like, I need a left wing back. Everyone's been able to see it for ages. So maybe if we would have acted earlier, we could have maybe got a little bit of a better deal, but I'm not going to complain too much. The way we've gone about this transfer window has been very confusing. It looks unorganised, but all in all, this deal for Patrick Dorgu, money-wise, is a good one, and his wages are good as well. So fair play to Ineos. I can't tell you how excited I am to see him play for Manchester United, because obviously I've researched him, I've watched clips on him, I've watched bits of matches, I've done like scout reports on him, but I can't say I've watched consistent 90-minute games of Lecce, of Patrick Dorgu, so I don't know what he's going to actually, be like in a Manchester United shirt in the Premier League. I can envision it. I can see the attributes he has and what type of player he's going to be and how Ruben Amorim is going to utilise him. But you can't actually get a fair judge of a player, I don't think, until he's played at least a few games in a United shirt. So I'm so excited to see him, to see his quality. Only 20 years old, so that is an exciting deal. And I think this also, why I wanted to bring it into the show, because I know we've talked about the price and everything before, is I think this is another indication of where we're going with Ineos and what our transfer strategy is, and I'm not mad about it. I do think we need to look to get some more experienced players in. It's all well and good getting youth in, and I think it's so important to build a foundation so you're setting the club up for the future. So I think bringing young players in is super important. I don't disagree with that. I like that we're doing that, and I don't agree that we're just looking to sell every young player that we bring in. I know Golbage has some extreme views on that, but I personally, even if you get a young player in and if it's a good price and okay, if they're good in a few years but they're not good enough, you can sell them on and make money on that. That's how Manchester City do it, Liverpool do it, Chelsea do it. Like, if they're not good enough to play for the club, but you know, they've still grown and they've developed, you still make money on it and you make profit. That's how City get around FFP a lot. That's how Chelsea do it, and Manchester United need to start using that strategy as well. But I truly believe if we buy a player in and they become good enough, we won't just completely sell them and sell them. I hope not anyway. I'd like to hope that they would be playing week in, week out. But I think the strategy is, from Ineos, what I'm trying to say is to get lower fees in for players that are a lower profile. Patrick Dorgu isn't someone that's a massive name that's going to cost you 70, 80 million. We've got him in for 25 million and we can build him up to be a better player and to have more value. And I think that's where we're going in this direction. I think long gone are the days where Manchester United go and spend 70 million on a player. I really do think them days are coming to an end. I think we're, for now anyway, while we're building this football club back out, focusing on getting a foundation together, and I sense in the summer as well, we'll get multiple positions in, but again, I sense, 30, 40, 50 million pound signings. I don't sense anything absolutely outrageous, and I think that's the direction that Ineos and Manchester United are going in. How that's going to fit when we need a real top quality experienced player, let's see, because that's one thing I think we're maybe lacking a bit. Although we did get De Ligt, who is top quality and is experienced, although he's still young in the summer, and we got him for a good price. So let's see how Ineos play it. So far in the transfer window, still nothing to write home about, but Patrick Dorgu doing his medical is super exciting, and the quicker he gets in a Manchester United shirt, the better. This Tel story, though, I have a feeling that this is going to start heating up within the next few days, and this could lead up to deadline day, and it's a super exciting race for Manchester United to be a part of. Thank you everyone for watching. Let me just see if there's any comments left that I've not read before I go. Trying to get the super chats up here. We've got Irish Was Drunk says, credit where it's due. Great shot, lads and lasses. Thank you very much. Bipsty Musical says, how about Ryan Cherky available for 22 mil? I've heard a lot about this player. I've seen a lot of people doing, reports about him on social media. He looks like an exciting player, but I think Manchester United haven't actually directly been linked to him in the media, so there's not really much to talk about him at this current moment in time. If we do get linked to him, obviously we'll do videos on him and talk about him, but I think at the moment it's a little bit of a fan kind of pipe dream if Manchester United were to go there, because I've not seen any reliable links to him. It's like even Cunha, who's a bit of a dream of mine. We've had some sort of link with Cherky. We've literally not had a link that I've seen. So it's an interesting prospect, and we might end up getting linked to him. And he does fit the price range and the age profile that Ineos would go for, but we've not had any links yet. We've got Johan saying, is Heaven a promising player? I've had so many people message me, and ask me what I think about Aiden Heaven from Arsenal. And from what I know from the Arsenal fans that I've spoken to Rory, spoken to Cecil, I've spoken to a few other Arsenal fans that don't really do content. What they have said is he's got very good technical ability, but they think he might be more of a midfielder. But we've brought him in to be that left-footed centre-back, so I don't know. It's one to watch. I'm not going to get overly excited about them sort of signings at this moment in time. Just give them time in the academy. Don't put too much pressure on them, and let's see what they can do. I think he'll go into the academy just the same way that Cheeto has done. Build them up. When they're ready, they'll come into the first-team squad. Obviously, I'm happy about it. Getting young talent, but I'm more excited about Godwill Kokonki right now. He's regularly getting into matchday squads. He's 16 years old. Ruben Amorim seems to really rate him. That's someone that I'm looking at more as a real opportunity to come through for Manchester United in the first team. Let me just check the rest of the chat, and then I've got to wrap up in a second. Hotel might need the rooftop back soon. People are saying that read the normal chat, but it's going so quickly. Joan says, watched him play for Denmark in a back three system. Funcho says, Dorgu's deal is on instalments. Staffy says, low wages so we can spend a little more on the transfer. Tech says, can we afford to not sell anyone and still get Dorgu? Oh, that's a good thing that I can say before I wrap up the show, is I have, again, not claiming to be Fabrizio Romano here, not claiming to be David Ornstein, but I have been told that if the transfer window closed tomorrow, we can get Dorgu and we'd be all right. So I don't think it means Garnacho has to go, but it's still very much, if a good enough offer came in for Garnacho, that transfer is absolutely on, because Ineos will look to balance the books, but it's not an absolute necessity, is what I've been told. But let's see if that comes true. But anyway, guys, we're going to have to wrap up. Please hit a like on the video. Thank you, everyone, for getting involved. Need to figure out a way on these lives on location of how to get the comments up. Need to invest into a bit more equipment. But for a little bit of a hack job, I think this has been a really good show and I've really enjoyed it. And I'll be looking forward to watch it back and see your comments as well, so I can see more of what you guys said. Hit a like on the video before you go. Let me know all your thoughts. We will be heading to Ruben Amorim's press conference a little bit later on. I think it's at 9 p.m. Romanian time, which is 7 p.m. in the UK, so stay tuned for that. Ruben Amorim and Lenny Yoro in the press conference, so if there's any questions you'd like to put to them, if we do get a question, let me know, and if there's a good one, you know, I might use it for myself. I've got a few up my sleeve, but let's see. But thank you everyone for watching. Let me know all your thoughts. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Over and out from Romania. Last but not least, Holiday Inn in Bucharest. Go and have a look. If you're coming to Bucharest for a holiday, it's a lovely hotel. Used the gym this morning. Fantastic. Thank you for watching, everyone.